We are now live. Okay, so 3 more minutes. I'm requesting again, please put your paper ID, the last 3 digits of your paper ID together with your name, that we can recognize you here on the screen. You are available. I can see some of you already changed, rename your name, and put the last 3 digits of your paper ID, but I can see that many of you still didn't change it to the paper ID. Thank you. Yes, please. Alfie Rapisura. Are you the listener or the presenter? Thank you so much. Okay, so we are starting the session. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us, and welcome all to the International Conference on Applied Science, Engineering, and Management. That is session 1. An international conference on humanities, literature, culture, and arts. That is session 2, which is organized by the International Institute of Academic Research and Publication, known as IIARP. I'm Shakir and the coordinator for this conference. I hope all the participants already got the program schedule, which we have sent to your email, and other instructions for these 2 online sessions. And it is to be noted that each presentation will have maximum of 10 minutes and extra 4 to 5 minutes for question and answers. So after completing all the presentations, we will have a question and answer session, and you can ask questions from the participants or give your suggestion if any. I also want to mention that those who already sent their presentations in a recording form, they do not need to play it here live on Zoom. We will upload it to our YouTube channel, and later I will share the link, YouTube link, in the chat box. And those participants who are needed by their institutions or universities to play the video on Zoom live, they can come to play it here. So I also welcome our session chair, Professor Dr. Mike Ali, who will have the role to assess every live presentation, and on the basis of that assessment, the best paper and presenter will get an award in the form of certificate. Here is an assessment criteria, which is quite simple, which include the best contents of the paper, the presenter presentation skills, time management skills, and how a presenter can attract the audiences and provide suggestions for the improvements of other presenters' papers. Okay, so I hope you all will enjoy with us. And without wasting our time, I think we need to start the session. But before that, I think it's quite necessary to introduce you with IIARP. So for this purpose, I will share my screen. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen? Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, you can see.
Okay, thank you. So welcome to this session, this conference, which are basically two sessions organized by International Institute of Academic Research and Publication, known as IIARP. So what is IIARP? IIARP is an academic conglomeration of academia and professionals, which is dedicated to promoting research and innovation, making a significant global impact. So our primary objective is to unite researchers and professionals from around the world, fostering an intellectual development and facilitating opportunities for networking and collaboration. This association is actively engaged in various academic activities, such as networking events, meetings, conferences, workshops, and research projects, including scholarships. Additionally, we are committed to publishing cutting-edge research publication and recognizing outstanding achievements through academic awards and scholarships. These are some of our associates, which also include Taylor and Francis, publisher, and our media media partner is Conference Alert 360. So what we basically do, what IIARP is doing or engaged in, we are involved in world-class networking for the researchers, organizing international and national conferences, and involved in publishing articles in international peer-reviewed journals. IIARP is well known for organizing scientific and academic international and national conferences around the world, such as in Bangladesh, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, Nepal, Nigeria, Philippines, Russia, Sri Lanka, Thailand, USA, Canada, and many more different countries in top cities, capital cities around the world. So by joining our conferences, the participants can get publication opportunities. You can choose to publish your abstract in the conference proceeding books with the DY and ISBN on Taylor and Francis platform. And you can also choose to publish your extended abstract, e-poster, presentation slides, lecture notes, and many other things in the conference proceeding with the DY. You can also choose to publish your manuscript in with a DY in a Google Scholar Index or journal, or the journals that are indexed in many other important databases. We also provide opportunities to authors to publish their papers in Scopus and Web of Science journals, such as ESCI, SSCI, SCI, and SCIE. We highly recommend the conference participants to submit their papers to the journals, which name is F1000 Research, a journal of Taylor and Francis, which is Q1, Scopus Q1, and also indexed in many other databases. Later, I will explain what is F1000 Research. This is why I said we recommend the participant to publish their papers, their manuscript in F1000 Research, because IIARP has a publication gateway on F1000 Research. And what is the gateway? It is an open research publication hub that is dedicated to publishing research rapidly and in a more transparent manner. How it works? You know, basically in traditional model of publication, you will submit your manuscript and the manuscript will be first reviewed by the editorial board of the journal, and if it's okay for the journal, they will send it to the review, and the review, you don't know who are the reviewer, and it will take 3, 4, or sometime up to 8 months to review your manuscript. Then it will be sent to the author, and author will revise it. It's a quite long and hectic process. So how F1000 Research is different from the traditional model of publication? In F1000, you can publish your paper more quickly, and it is an author-oriented process. Here you can submit your paper, okay, your manuscript, and you also need to submit the associated data of the manuscript, such as interview, field notes, SPSS file, or other associated data. When you submit this data and this manuscript, it will be reviewed by the editorial board of the journal. And at the same time, you also need to provide your own reviewers. And when it is revised, it is commended by the editorial board, and it's good, the manuscript is suitable for the journal, it will be published. After the editorial revision, it will be published, and then the reviewers you provided will be invited to see your manuscript, and after they provide, the reviewers provide review comments, and you revise it. You revise and submit it, and if again it is passed by 2 reviewers out of 5 or 4 reviewers, it means your paper is now ready to be indexed in a Scopus. That is how it works here. If you provided 4 reviewers, and after publication, the reviewers provided the comments, and you revised your manuscript, and it is approved. Here you can see this sign. It is approved by 2 reviewers. it means it is okay now, and your paper, your manuscript, your article now will be sent for indexing in Scopus journal. But if it is approved with the reservation, it means you need to revise it again in order to get to acceptance, to reviewer acceptance. Then it will only be sent to be indexed in Scopus database. So it's quite easy and author-oriented process. If you want to know more about this process, it's quite easy. You can come and our team will guide you step by step how to submit and how to publish your manuscript in F1000 Research. One important and very good thing for the author is that if you submit your manuscript through IIARP gateway, you will get a discount because the journal is open access and it has an APC. So if you are submitting by your own, not through IIARP gateway, it means you need to pay over 1,300 USD. But if you submit it through IIARP gateway, mean you will just pay $1,000. It's quite a huge discount. Yeah, so we provide this opportunity and highly recommend you to submit your manuscript to F1000 Research. Yeah, there are some criteria for the manuscript to be accepted in this journal, such as the manuscript need to be original, not plagiarized, and one author need to be a qualified researcher, scholar, such as he or she has a PhD degree or published 2-3 manuscript in Scopus, and it should be in English. The manuscript need to be in English, and the manuscript need to follow an ethical guideline. We can also guide you about this if you are interested. And you need to provide reviewers for your manuscript, at least 5 eligible reviewers. And you need to provide the associated data, the data associated with your manuscript. These are some of the basic criteria for the manuscript to be included in this journal. So these are some of our publication, past publication. We publish a lot. These are some of the examples. And you can also come to IIARP platform for the help in terms of publication in Scopus, ESCI, SCI, and SCIE. These are some of the highlights of our past conferences. You can visit our website, www.iiarp.org, for exploring more about conferences and other events. Yeah, thank you so much. That's all. And now I will invite our session chair to have an opening remarks and start the session. Thank you. Professor Mike, are you available?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our platform, IIARP. It's nice to see you all here to present your contribution to the science, and it's really a pleasure to know some new knowledge from you people. So today, we will just start in the beginning. I will call the paper ID and the title and the name. So one by one can come and present your paper. We will have Q&A session in the end of the all presenters, our conference. So I think if the co-chair allow me, so we can begin. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So here are 2 sessions. The first session is technical session 1 on applied sciences, engineering, and management. And the second session is humanities, literature, culture, and arts. So here some of the presenters already sent their videos and we are uploading to our YouTube channel, and some of the presenter want to present here on Zoom. So please you call the presenter and then I will inform you whether it is a video presenter or it is a live Zoom presenter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful for this opportunity. So I'm going on. The first presenter paper ID is 720, Development of Learning Management System. The presenter is Gambi. If I'm not wrong, sorry, forgive me. If you're available, please share your screen and proceed. Thank you.
Sorry, I was muted. It's a video presenter, so we can move to the next one.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we can just move to the next paper, which ID is 723, the Information Communication Technology ICT Infrastructure. The presenter name is Alfie. If you're available, please share your screen and proceed. Thank you.
Paper ID 723. The presenter is Alfie Navarro. Are you available? 723. Paper ID 723. I think I can see it here on the screen.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you please share your screen?
Yes, sir. I'll be sharing my screen, sir.
Thank you.
Are you
Yes,
seeing my screen now, sir?
yes, sure. It's visible.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Alfie Rapisura from Ilocos Community College here in Bigan City, Ilocos Sur. And Ilocos Community College is located at Zone 5 Bantay, Ilocos Sur. And together with my co-researcher is Professor Wilben Cristi Pagtaconan from Mariano Marcos State University at City of Batac, Ilocos Norte, Philippines. So our research is entitled Information Communication Technology Infrastructure Development Plan of Ilocos Community College. But before that, let me present to you the author's biographies. So I am Alfie N. Rapisura. I obtained my bachelor's degree in computer science from University of Northern Philippines. Then obtained my master in information technology at Mariano Marcos State University. Currently, I am an IT instructor and promoted as the MIS head at my institution at Ilocos Community College. And my field of specialization includes web and mobile development and software engineering. And my current research interests are on cross-platform development, Arduino sensing optimization, and Internet of Things. And my co-author is Professor Wilben Cristi Pagtaconan. He obtained his bachelor's degree in computer science from Mariano Marcos State University. Then he obtained his Master of Science in Information Technology degree at St. Louis University in Baguio City. Currently, he is an associate professor at the College of Computing and Information Sciences at Mariano Marcos State University. And his specializations include software development and educational technology. His current research interests are e-learning, artificial intelligence, web science, and IT administration. So the abstract. In the transition towards an information economy, universities must incorporate information technology into their educational practices. While IT empowers effective knowledge management, developing countries such challenges due to inadequate infrastructure. Ilocos Community College, or ISCC, strives to enhance its IT infrastructure and human resource development. This study aims to assess ISCC's IT infrastructure and propose strategies to improve education and services. The research adopts mixed non-experimental descriptive methods targeting the ISCC employees as interviewees. Data collection employs surveys, focus group discussions, and in-depth interviews. The study evaluates the current state of ICT infrastructure at ISCC, gathering insights and suggestions from employees through FGD and IDI. The formulated ICT infrastructure development plan encompasses resource acquisition, procurement, and deployment plans, workforce planning strategies, and action implementation maps. The plan aligns with the Strategic Information System Plan and Project Procurement Plan templates. The Information Communication Technology or ICT Infrastructure Development Plan or IDP undergoes validation to comply the ISO 9001 standards for the ICT services and solutions. It covers the network design, implementation and management, software development and maintenance, hardware installation and maintenance, and data gathering services. The ICT IDP meets ISO 9001 standards based on the conducted validation. In summary, this study evaluates the ISCC's IT infrastructure, provide planning strategies, and proposes interventions to enhance the quality of education and services. The formulated ICT IDP adheres to ISO 9001 standards and covers various ICT areas, promoting efficient ICT service provision at ISCC. So the research description: institutions are trying to achieve their goals in a very smart way, widespread and huge involvement of information technology. Effective gathering and transforming of knowledge and information become more touchable and under IT empowerment. A very vital role of IT has been identified in universities and especially in learning, research, and educational activities. Rich infrastructure of ICT has become crucial for the continuity of education and learning, especially under COVID-19 pandemic. At Republic Act number 11494, Section 10 of I, development of smart campuses through investments in ICT infrastructure, acquisition of learning management systems, and other appropriate equipment to fully implement flexible learning modalities. This Republic Act comes from the Philippines. Okay, the Circular Memorandum Order number 9, series of 2020. These are the priority areas to address and develop flexible learning and e-learning in the Philippines. First is internet connectivity. Second, campus area network. Third, learning management systems. And fourth is smart campus development planning. And fifth is learners information system as per the Republic Act 1093, Section 9. According to Ms. Yu, various state colleges and universities in Western Visayas, Philippines viewed ICT as easy to use and useful in their work. They had a positive attitude towards ICT and showed a strong intention to use it. At the UNESCO, In 2015, it was found that the lack of ICT resources and poor infrastructure hindered the full implementation of ICT in education. Advanced forms of ICT-assisted instruction, such as computer and internet-assisted instructions, require proper infrastructure, including substantial computers and internet resources. The integration of technology has a significant impact on student-centered teaching and learning, leading to high-order critical and analysis skills, creativity, independence, and collaboration and ownership of ideas, according to Otorokiri, Kirugna, and Kirimi at 2022. And according to Romel and Salahan, 2016, UNESCO considers information and communication technology as an important tool to improve accessibility, efficiency, and quality in education. And lastly, at the Philippine Information Agency at 2021, the Philippine government recognizes the importance of ICT as the currency of a digital economy to facilitate the digital transformation efforts and readiness of all government offices. The Information System Strategic Plan, or ISSP, was established. And here is a small background about Ilocos Sur Community College. It was established by virtues of Sangguniang Panlalawigan number 523 series of 1975 that offers 6 bachelor's degree programs, TESDA, technical vocational courses, and senior high school. Currently, working on improving its information technology infrastructure and manpower to provide better services to its students and stakeholders. And the statement of the problem of this research is, first, what is the current state of the existing ICT infrastructure of ICC in terms of hardware, software, network, and other ICT resources being used? Second, what is the level of digital transformation readiness of ISCC in terms of people and processes? Third, what are the ICT infrastructure development initiatives to be considered in the development of an ICT infrastructure plan? And fourth, is the developed ICT infrastructure development plan compliant with the ISO 9001 standard? And the objectives of the study: to assess the ICT infrastructure of the Ilocos Sur Community College in terms of computer, switching, routers, server, data center, and physical plants. Second, to assess people planning strategies of ICC in terms of experience.
Interruption. You have 2 more minutes, so please be conclusive.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, let me skip the slides. Is that okay?
No problem. No problem. Please be conclusive.
Okay, thank you. And its our significance, its scope and delimitation, the development of a medium-term 5-year information communication technology infrastructure development plan of Ilocos Sur Community College. Next. Okay, bear in mind that this research is a mixed non-experimental descriptive method in a form of survey method to assess the ICT infrastructure, and in-depth interviews and focus group discussions to explore the experiences, coping strategies, and insights. So the participants, complete enumeration of the ICC employees. Okay, the research instrument used is the ICT ISSP base. What I'm telling a while ago is the Information System Strategic Plan. There where we base the research. The data collection methods. Findings. In these findings, the major concern of ISCC is inadequate of ICT equipment, and some employees are using their personal computers, no information system implemented, and internet connection and network inside the campus are being leased from a third-party company, and most part of the campus has blind spots, and connected is at a maximum of 2 Mbps only. So let me skip to the conclusion. Summary and conclusion. By summary, the Information Communication Technology Infrastructure Development Plan of ISCC with people planning strategy intervention was developed. and data gathering instruments and methods, survey for the assessment of the current ICT, and the output basis based on the information strategic plan of Department of Information Communication Technology and the project procurement management plan templates. So the developed plan focuses on the acquisition of ICT resources, procurement, and deployment schedule, people planning strategy, and intervention implementation map. Conclusion, there is an adequate ICT equipment. Some employees are using their personal computers. Lack of information systems. There's no information system being used in any office to speed up the current process of each office. And least internet connection and network infrastructure. So the develop an ICT infrastructure development plan that focuses on acquisition, supporting document, the basis for proposing and approving regulations and resolutions aimed at the design, development, and implementation of smart local colleges in the province of Ilocos Sur. And of course, in student-centered services increases their engagement in learning, which positively impacts grades and keeps students engaged and retained. And recommendation is to adapt and implement the developed plan, and the creation of new plantilla position, which is Information Technology Officer 1, that will administer the development, deployment, and maintenance of information systems that will be developed during the 5-year implementation schedule. And then next one is the sponsor or allocate funding, sponsor training and seminars, initiate the people planning strategy intervention immediately. And lastly is to present the developed information ICT infrastructure development plan to the administration of ISCC. That's it. Thank you very much for listening.
Well, thank you very much. It was very nice and knowledgeable for us. And now it's time we have to call another presenter. I'm going to say the name, the ID of the paper, the title, and the presenter name. The next paper is 725, Strategy, Improvement, Innovation, and Government Support. The presenter is Ida Nareda. If you are there, please share your screen and proceed. Thank you.
725. Can we see it on the screen? 725. Paper ID 725. Are you available? 725 is absent. We can move to the next presenter.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Shakir. Now we have to move to the next presenter, whose paper ID is 728, Traceability of Palm Oil Seed in a Supply Chain System. The presenter is Dr. Bambang.
It's a video presenter, so please skip it.
Thank you very much. Now we will proceed to the next one. The next paper ID is 729, Empirical Investigation of Employee.
I hear. Can I share with my presentation?
What's your paper ID? Sorry.
Bambang 258. 28.
28.
No, sir, it's not 28. It's 729.
725 and 728. So you were a 728. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
So you already sent your video. Am I right?
I would like to send directly by Zoom. Okay.
Okay, please share your screen.
Thank you very much. Is clear? This my presentation. Okay.
7.
Can you see my presentation?
Yeah, it's visible. Please.
Okay. Thank you. So I will make it. Yes, it is my presentation about the traceability of oil palm seed and supply chain system in the chilling to improve the effective conformity assessment to strengthen the smallholder plantation in Indonesia. This is my colleagues with me, and maybe here is clear. I'm from the Research Center for Testing Technology and Standard. It is from the National Research and Innovation Agency. And this is my colleagues, Daryono and so on, are in one institution. And two of the authors come from the National Standardization Agency. Next slide. This is our abstract. As we know all that oil palm has very important economic value, but also environmental concern in several countries. One of the most important factor is to ensure the productivity of the oil palm and availability with seed quality. Even though there are already standardization and regulation in Indonesia related to the seed production, but low quality substandard seed are still found in the market. Therefore, the traceability plays very crucial factor, and in our research, we will find in which point in the supply chain will be find substandard or fixed seed that already in our research, we research 80% of the legally existing seed production by using interview and survey in the field. So as in the introduction, oil palm is very important, as you know. Currently, the top 5 biggest producer is Indonesia, number 1, Malaysia, and then second Thailand, and also Colombia. Increasing in demand in the last 10 years, Indonesia has endorsed the plantation. There are the type big atau large private estate crop plantation, and then estate crop from the own state, and also the smallholder. One, the most important, as I said before, that is how is the purity, because when this we found the impurity or substandard or fixed it, so we will for the smallholders is very bad. They have very low yield and also low income. Therefore, our research will be provide that in which part the impurity of seed of oil palm will found. This is just to information to you that there are 3 kinds of oil seed. This is Dura, Tenera, and Piscifera. We want that high yield of oil palm, but for the processing, we have a simple of processing. So we can choose, for example, here for Tenera is high oil content, but the scale still of the cell is very thin. So the manufacture is very easy. The picture saw the art about the oil palm, and the punch. The punch is a content of the footprints is like this in the picture. And then next, I just showed you which the distribution of the oil nursery seed production in Indonesia in terms of the production of plantation. This from the Aceh, the west part of Indonesia to Papua. And then my method is, after we set up a questionnaire drafting, and then we just test in a certain seed breeding products, and then we make a kind of the questionnaire draft and interview conducted by visiting direct discussion with the company, and then we have the data. From the data, we can also collect it by information in second source, for example, from website, from the official, from the report, from the literature, and then beside that, we also collected the sampling from lead and kernel endocard to laboratory testing to make a reference how to compare the fake seed and also the original seed. Therefore, we also recommended in the later on, I tell you that we have some kind of recommendation how to trace the seed supply chain in Indonesia. This is just information about how is the scheme of the production. This is from the breeding, and then the seed production, and then from the seed production and the seed processing, and then come to the germination, and then finishing. After the finishing, the production sent to the retail, sent to the nursery, and then from the nursery will plant as a nursery plant in after 3 or 6 months, and then is ready to send to the farmer. We have already the standard how to maintain, how to produce a seed with high quality. they released by the National Standard of Standardization of Indonesia, and already dissemination to the industry. Even though they still found the fixes because on the supply chain, it is enter point. Takes a fixed sheet can enter in the supply chain. This the picture show about the sprout, so the seed before the plant, and then here is the certification, the original seed with high quality. And this slide show how the nursery maintain and preparing the seed before they send to the farmer or the plantation. And this seed, based on our own investigation, the producer of seed located mainly in the Sumatra. This is the picture in the North Sumatra, and in Riau, and here in South Sumatra, and just small in West Japan, and here also in Kalimantan. So from this production, the seed production send the product seed to Indonesian, all the provinces, but most of them also sent to the Africa, to the South Latin America, to export of seed production from Indonesia. And here, the productivity of seed compared with existing capacity for all 80% from the seed production. And here, we also get a data by tracking system of seed and the destination of the market. For example, here for number 1 to 14, the production, for example, code by certain label, and then monitoring label print and logo or by laser. Sometimes the label also by QR code to make that the sheet that they produce is original. Sometimes they use also monitoring plan in the carrier from the nursery to production to plant. Some company, they don't have a certain traceability, so but they can also certification. This one, I will tell you about the possible entering impurity of oil palm. And the level 1 of the supply chain here is type A, and the green color is registered the seed company. But we also found the producer, but not registered in certain local government. This is maybe as the reason there are fake seed or substandard seed found in the market. And then in the level 2 in the nursery and the level 3 in the seed reader, we found here in the red color the possible and third impurity of seed in the market, which here sometimes bought by the small plantation. In terms of the big companies, large company, they have own seed production, and they can direct planting. But for the small holder, there are many possibilities. They buy some seed which that original standardized, for example. And then in our research, we sampling some leaf and some mesocarp, some sample, and we can identify by fronting IIARP that the typology of the transmission can be used as a reference material to find in the field whether it is a fake or not. This is one method, the sample method. Actually, there are already existing process.
Sorry for interruption. You have
Okay.
2 more minutes.
Okay, thank you. And then this is the picture. It's come from the SEM, the second electron microscope. That's very important to know how the characteristic in microscopic. And then here, our recommendation in terms of the law enforcement existing regulation. So we should invite that the government must preparing the registration of the breeder and nursery and trader, and also certified by the local government, for example in Sumatra, because there are many producers, and also inspection by government. Even it is still the capacity building of the inspection is still low. And then in the second one, it is our recommendation. It is the conformity assessment done by third party based on the ISO 17065 by third party. certification done by a certain company, and we will be accredited by National Standardization and Accreditation Committee, and the regulation like that will be endorsed by the government. And at the end, we also endorse that the recommendation, the self-controlling by user, by develop a certain very simple method to know, to measure, to determine whether seed is fake or it is good. Maybe by FRAD, by molecular DNA, but molecular DNA is okay, but it is they own certain company which not public domain. So the public cannot use a certain molecular DNA because they have a patent and IPR from the certain company. So that we can also introduce another method, for example, the spectral, that we can also apply a certain from the smallholder and from the trader. As conclusion, oil palm in Indonesia belongs as strategic commodity because it is a source of state revenue, employing many people in supply chain of product in upstream and downstream. Traceability system is needed for the development of good quality because this is very important for the seed for the smallholder. Based our research from the 80% of the seed producer, now that the food supply chain is its original guarantee. But in the distribution standard, in the next step of supply chain, they found a fixed it. Therefore, we propose various supply chain in the state by using certain method which is very simple for the problem. We also recommendation by controlling on the community assessment done by third party. So the government just to endorse the regulation, the third party done by company, certain company certification body can do this traceability, so that the purity, the high standard of seed can obtained by smallholder. Last my slide, I would like to thanks to the Director of Research Center Testing Technology, BRIN, for the permission to publish this article, and also the study funded by RIM project to 2020 by BRIN. And we appreciate all our respondents to seed producer breed that already supply data to me. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much. So, Professor Mike, we are coming back to
Yeah, well,
yes.
727.
Thank you very much for. Thank you very much for the presenter. It was really nice, knowledgeable for us, and we learned a lot of things about the new phenomena. Now it's time to just move to the next presenter.
No, sorry, Professor Mike. We are coming back to 720 because she want to present it here on Zoom. Originally, she sent her video, but she want to present here on Zoom, so we will give a chance here to present on Zoom. So 720, can you please share your screen? Paper ID 720. Gambi, are you available? The author name is Melanie S. Gambi. Yes. Okay. Please share your screen. 720. 720. You are not audible. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Dr. Gambi, can you hear us? Can you hear me? You're not audible. Is it the problem in my side or everyone is unable to hear her?
We can hear
we
you, Dr.
cannot hear
Shakir.
Sorry?
We can hear you, Dr. Shakir, but cannot hear Miss Gambi.
We
I
don't hear anything from the presenter herself.
Yeah, we can't hear a presenter. I don't know what's the problem. Let me send her a message in the chat box. I don't know what happened to you. We can't hear you. Can you please restart it?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello. This is one of the this is the co-author of Miss Melanie Gambi presenter. So right now I communicating with her, and then there's a problem on a technical problem. So we're asking that the next presenter will be calling, and then after that she will be representing it again. She would be shutting down her unit in order that she could be present after a next presenter.
Okay,
Is that
thank
okay,
you.
sir?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so please move to the next presenter. And we will come back to this presentation. What's the next one? Professor Mike?
Dr. Shakir?
Yes.
Yeah, hello everyone. Now it's like we have to move to the next presenter. His paper ID is 729. The topic is empirical investigation of employee engagement factors. So if you are available, please share your screen and begin. Thank you.
I think it's a video presentation, so please skip it and move to the next one.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shakir. Now we have to move to the next presenter whose paper ID is 735. The topic is fault-tolerant controller design of. Okay, so the presenter is Martins Anil. So if you're available, please proceed. Thank you.
735. 735. Is it available here on the screen? 735. I don't think so. Wait. 735. Paper ID 735. Wait. 735 is absent, if I'm not wrong. 735. It's absent. Please move to the next one.
Well, thank you very much, Shakir. Dr. Shakir. So now we have to move to the next one, whose paper ID is 737. The effect of company size, profitability, leverage, media exposure. If you're available, please proceed and share your screen with us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Please can you wait? I would like to share my screen.
737.
737.
Yes. Please share your screen.
Yeah, okay, can I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to present this paper. My name is Eva Yulianti, together with Mr. Stefanus Raymond Wawarotu from Presiden University, Indonesia, will present our paper entitled The Effect of Company Size, Profitability, Leverage, Media Exposure, and Liquidity on Carbon Emission Disclosure. Okay, on July 1st, 2022, Indonesia government enacted a carbon tax. According to the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, this application aims to increase the mix of new renewable energy sources and the state income. The application of this carbon price is designed for all activities that produce carbon dioxide gas. If the company emissions are still below the set of threshold, there will not be a carbon tax to pay. The Indonesian carbon tax is scheduled to go into effect in 2025. However, it will be used initially in the sector of power plants that rely on coal for energy. Originally scheduled to go into effect on April 1st, 2022 as trial for the implementation of the carbon price for the coal-fired power plant industry, which later was delayed by 3 months. And beginning on July 1st, 2022, the electric steam power plant was subject to the carbon tax as the first officially trial. To support the government, we will investigate the factors that affect the carbon emission disclosure, which are the company size, profitability, leverage, media exposure, and liquidity. Here is the literature review and hypothesis development. So based on literature review of Jana and Wade 2014 and Lorenzo et al. On 2009, which state that larger companies are more likely to disclose their carbon emissions, we generate the first hypothesis, which is company size has a positive and significant effect on carbon emission disclosure. According to Zhang et al. On 2012 and Luo et al. On 2013, which state that profitable companies are likely to disclose their carbon emissions, we generate the second hypothesis, which is profitability has a positive and significant effect on carbon emission disclosures, as stated by Gomi and Long on 2013 and Jana and Wade on 2014, which state that high leverage companies are likely not to disclose their carbon emissions. We generate the third hypothesis, which is leverage. Leverage has a negative and significant effect on carbon emission disclosure, as claimed by Dawkins and Franz on 2011 and Noor and Priyantinah on 2012, state that the company will not disclose their moral obligation, especially about the environment or carbon emission disclosure, when the media is actively covering. Due to once the company publish their moral obligation, the media will expect the next one in the future. Therefore, we generate fourth hypothesis, which is media exposure has a negative and significant effect on carbon emission disclosure. In the opinion of Irwan Toko and Basuki 2016 and Jana and Wade on 2014, state that liquid companies are likely to disclose their carbon emissions. we generate the fifth hypothesis, which is liquidity has a positive and significant impact on carbon emission disclosure. Here is our research model in the below. And here is our methodology. So data was collected from the company's financial statement and their website sustainability report. Consisted of 225 companies as a sample size, listed on LP45 at Indonesia Stock Exchange or IDX from the period of 2017 until 2021. The firm website and IDX website were also used to compile the sustainability report and all financial disclosures. Regression analysis is utilized to assess the company size, profitability, leverage, media exposure, and liquidity, while the CDP 18 criteria or carbon disclosure project 18 criteria and a content analysis are used to assess the carbon emission disclosure. Carbon emission disclosure, as I said before, was measured with CDP 18 criteria, which the content was analyzed at the level of the phase. So here is the table. Based on this table, it divided into 5 categories, which are climate change, risks and opportunities, greenhouse gases emission, energy consumptions, reduction and cost, and lastly, accountability of emissions carbon. Then company size was measured with formula of LN of total assets of the company, and then profitability was measured with ROI or return on investment and ROA, return on assets. Leverage was measured with debt to equity ratio or debt, and media exposure was a dummy variable. A dummy variable means that disclose the information about the carbon emission through the electronic media, and a value of 0 for companies that do not use or do not disclose their information about the carbon emissions through electronic media. While lastly, liquidity was measured with current asset divided by current liability. And here's the result of the research. The value of significant F is 0.000, which is less than 0.05. This means that this model is valid. An adjusted R square of 0.872 or 87.2%. This indicates that the disclosure of carbon emissions is influenced by the independent variables, which are the company size, profitability as determined by ROA and ROI, leverage, media exposures, and liquidity by 87.2%. Based on regression analysis, based on the regression analysis, company size has a coefficient of 0.310 with p-value of 0.002. Profitability measured with ROA and ROI has coefficient of each 0.713 and 0.085 with p-value of 0.049 and 0.038. Leverage has a coefficient of minus 0.080 with p-value of 0.022. Media exposure has a coefficient of minus 6.586 with p-value of 0.000, and liquidity has coefficient of 0.074 with p-value of 0.006. And here is the result analysis. First hypothesis is accepted, which is company size has a positive and significant effect on carbon emission disclosure. This result is supported by previous research from Jana and Witt and Lorenzo et al. On 2014 and 2009. Second hypothesis is accepted, which is profitability has positive and significant effect on carbon emission disclosure. This result is supported by previous research from Zhang et al. 2012 and Lu et al. On 2013. Third hypothesis is accepted, which is leverage has a negative and significant effect on carbon emission disclosure. This result is supported by previous research from Gomi and Wang on 2013 and Jana and Witt on 2014. Fourth hypothesis is accepted, which is media exposure has a negative and significant effect on carbon emission disclosure. This result is supported by previous research from Dawkins and Franz on 2011 and Nur and Priyantina on 2012. Fifth hypothesis, or the last hypothesis, is also accepted, which is the liquidity has a positive and significant effect on carbon emission disclosure. This result is supported by previous research from Irwantovo and Basuki on 2016 and Jana and Win on 2014. So to conclude, company size, profitability, and liquidity all have positive impact on its disclosure of carbon emission. Leverage and media exposure, on the other hand, have a negative and significant effect on carbon emission disclosure. So we suggest that future research should focus on a certain industry or businesses like manufacturing sector. Yes, thank you for your kind attention and the opportunity. If you have any question, please directly ask us or contact us. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Well, thank you very much, the presenters for presenting here and telling us about your research contribution to the science. Thank you very much. Now it's time to just proceed to the next presenter. His paper ID is 378, revisiting the calculation of moment of interior. If you're available, please proceed and share your screen. Thank you.
Paper ID 378. Isak Dasa. Are you available? Seven three eight. Let me see. I check it on the screen. 738. 738. Maintenance is already stable and good now. Okay. 738. It's this person is absent, so we will come back to 720. 720. Please come and share your screen. Seven two zero.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. For 720, is still fixing the audio, sir.
Sorry.
We are still fixing the audio of the unit.
I can see in the chat box, he said my internet connection is already stable and good now. I don't know.
We have other presenter because the one in charge to
So
present.
please then come at the end of the second session, okay?
Okay, noted, sir.
Yeah, please, because we will not come back and forth because it will waste the time of the presenter. Ida Norida, 725. Wait, 725.
Yes, Doctor. Yes, Dr. Shakir. I'm ready.
Okay, please share your screen.
Is it clear? Can you see my presentation?
Yes, please continue.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Dr. Shakir. Good afternoon all. My name is Ida Nur Aida. My topic is strategy improvement, innovation, and government support in remote areas. The case study of micro-sized culinary enterprises in Rancabali Village, Bandung, Regency, Indonesia. Okay. Oh, sorry. Based on Indonesian Central Statistic Agency. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry. Okay. The micro size. Sorry, Dr. Shakir. I can remove this. Sorry. Okay, I already can remove this. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Based on Indonesian Central Agency in 2022, micro and small size scale businesses in food sector reached 36%. In Bandung Regency, West Java Province, Indonesia, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises or MSMEs is one of the pillar economy, and culinary sector is a leading sector in Bandung City. Bandung City is famous as culinary destination city, so increasing number of culinary MSMEs increases competitiveness and adds challenges for MSMEs owners to survive. But there are another challenge. People's tastes are always changing, and lifestyle trends are constantly evolving. This requiring companies to focus on innovation and creativity. After reviewing the result of other research findings, I found research gap that has yet to be discussed about how micro-sized culinary enterprises in remote areas can increase their sales. I used for research for micro-sized culinary enterprises research objects in Trancabali village, Bandung. The location is a remote mountainous area where plantations grow there. The owners of each micro-sized culinary enterprises are housewives. Each business consists of 2 until 3 people from different generations, like daughter and mother or daughter, mother and grandmother. They have micro-sized culinary business experience from generation to generation for more than 20 years. Their business is alive but difficult to grow. The limitation internet network that causing limited online promotion make them difficult to increase sales and difficult to deliver products to customers. The aim of this study is to investigate what kind of strategy improvement, innovation, and government support needed to increase sales. My research method was descriptive qualitative research. Data collection techniques was in-depth interviews and observation. I used purposive sampling technique because they have similar problems and the same environment, and only 4 of them who opened a culinary business in that area. So the result is, there are advantage and disadvantage of that remote mountainous area. The advantage are fertile land, clean air, abundant water, very natural environment, hot mix asphalt road, adequate public schools, and they have high skill and expert in agricultural and plantation. So they focus on farming and gardening work. The disadvantage of that remote mountainous area are far away, limited internet network or access. Residents only use WhatsApp as social media, no e-bank, no ATM, no raw materials market. And there are only 4 micro-sized culinary businesses there. No public transportation, no online motorcycle, and no ATM. So general problems for culinary businesses, they have only 2 until 3 people of each business who focus on fulfilling orders. No production records, no bookkeeping, and calculating costs of production and cost of goods sold. Marketing is neglected. They also have limited funds, small stock of direct materials, and far away from raw material stores. Among the 4 businesses, the best management is at the Dapur Mega Enterprise. They provide delivery food, but only once a day because they have only 1 courier. And they said that they find difficulties to get additional workers. About organization structure, no organization structure there because all are carried out together by grandmother, mother, and daughter. About hygiene and layout, they already hold routine cleaning area, no label on each jar of raw materials. Work area are clean from dust, patches, and other debris. Good about safety and air circulation are very good there, but they use gas and electricity, but they have no fire extinguisher. They already make good product innovation and development in taste, raw material, shapes, size, product variants, and production process, but lack of promotion, often confusing consumers. Several innovation in packaging, but without logo. So they and also lack brand identification, name of product variant, composition, etc. Example, this is the example of cookies from bananas, and this is the example of donut in the jar. They have and also they have innovation to make dodol and yogurt from dragon fruit, strawberries, ground cherry, red or yellow watermelon. Each business has 5 until 11 product categories and 5 until 15 variants offered by each categories. The weakness is the information about the product and the category not well recorded manually or digitally. Only one micro business who use banner in front of the house, but not optimally giving clear information to customer because using two word term food and catering like this. And about the use of the social media, the use of social media, they can only promote their product via WhatsApp. So they produce made by order, their production made by order, and their WhatsApp has not been updated regularly. They no adequate product catalog, manual or digital for customer. Discussion. Many business potential and opportunities there. For micro-sized culinary enterprises, they have high talent, creativity, skills, and ability in cooking, passed down from generation to generation. But there are problems from internal and external. From internal is lack of professional management, mastery of technology, product packaging, marketing tools, promotion, quality of entrepreneurship, financial, investment, information, and availability of human resources. But problem from external is that the regional government has yet to optimally develop the economy and infrastructure. This causing lack of internet network, public transportation, financial institution, market, and the location of residential areas become isolated, infrequently accessible, and secluded. So this is my model for study improvement, innovation, and government support in remote area. First, the business culinary enterprises have to improve their internal management, and they have to improve their innovation and consists of human resource, cooperation, information sharing. They have to consider operation, layout, and hygiene. They have to improve brand packaging and innovation. They have to create market innovation, product innovation, and the important thing is they have to open collaboration with academics. And outside the internal business, they need support from government. First, government should support economy, like invite investor, building market, financial institutional service like bank or ATM. They have to provide information technology. Government should simplify licensing. Government should provide transportation facilities like station and public transportation, and also government should facilitate infrastructure development like roads, schools, health centers, water infrastructure, and irrigation. About internal improvement of strategy and innovation.
Sorry for interruption. You have 2 more minutes, so please be conclusive. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the internal improvement strategy and innovation consists of human resource cooperation, information sharing, operation layout, and hygiene. And for example, they have to prepare production board, and they have to record inventory records, operate raw material, work in process, and finished goods. And also, and next, they have to add motorbike to avoid wasting time, and they have to improve brand and packaging innovation for clarity. For example, the logo of the company, and they have to clearly inform customer about what kind of product variants from each product category. They have to prepare brand stickers and description of product categories, variant, weight, composition, expiry dates, and others. And also for marketing innovation, they can expand distribution channels to school and make shop in front of the house. They have to maximize the use of WhatsApp for promotion. For example, picture profile, company a company profile and catalogs. And also this is the example of update picture profile of WhatsApp. This is the example of price list of product, and this is the example of updating a banner in front of their house. Okay, and also they have to think about product creativation and finance management. Conclusion, environmental factors influence creative economy, including culinary business. Micro-environmental factors have a direct interest in organization, but micro-environment cannot be controlled by the company owner, but affect the company. So improvement can be created by professional management and creativity and innovation. Creativity and innovation in taste, raw materials, shape, size, product variants need to be accompanied by the innovation in digital marketing to increase sales. Digital marketing must need a good internet network. So culinary industry creative and innovation need support from academics to assist, train, coach, and guide its improvement, and also need support from local government. Okay, thank you, Dr. Shakir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And we are coming to the last presenter. That was originally the first presenter, but due to some issues in her internet, I will play the video here from my side. And then we will wind it up, this session 1. Let me try to open this video.
Good day.
Okay. So I'm trying to play it and conclude it as much as possible from my side. Okay. There is an internet issue in her side, so we just only have the option to play it here live. Okay.
Thank you for being here today. My name is Melanie Gambi, a presenter, and we are delighted to share our research project, Development of a Learning Management System for Instructors, Students, and Administrators. Again, my name is Melanie Gambi. I earned my master's degree at Liceo de Cagayan University, Cagayan de Oro City, Philippines, last April 2020, and a bachelor's degree in computer science last March 2002 at St. Peter's College, Iligan City, Philippines. Currently, I am the Dean of the College of Computer Studies at St. Peter's College, Iligan City, Philippines. My research interest is in learning management systems, databases, multimedia, mobile and desktop application. And also my co-author, Andrew P. Ponte, earned his Doctor of Philosophy in Technology Management at Cebu Technological University, formerly known as Cebu State College of Science and Technology in Cebu City, Philippines, last November 2007. Moreover, he obtained his Master's of Science in Computer Science at the Asian College of Technology, Cebu City, Philippines, last March 2002, and a Bachelor holder in Computer Science last March 1996 at St. Joseph of Institute of Technology, Butuan City, Philippines. He is a professor in the College of Information Technology, Graduate Studies, Liceo de Cagayan University, Cagayan de Oro City, Philippines. His research interests are web development, system analysis and design, database management systems, and network security. This study is very timely during the COVID-19 pandemic. It has affected our day-to-day dealings in school. The Commission on Higher Education encourages non-face-to-face activity amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the challenges in teaching is how to address the different needs of the students. Instructors primarily incorporated lectures to deliver their lessons. Lecture notes, whiteboards, presentation slides, and liquid crystal display projectors facilitate the learning delivery approach. The downside is that students need help coping with their left behind lessons whenever they cannot attend class. Along with the problem mentioned in the scheduled conflict, whenever instructors plan remedial classes, an issue arises regarding the availability of venue and equipment where lectures could be done. Another problem is the lecture cannot be eventually carried out whenever there is a disturbance in classes due to holiday and other school activities. Thus, to address the issue cited, the researchers developed a learning management system which assesses both the instructors and students to assess, retrieve, and understand various information on time, which would then serve as an alternative process to discuss aside from the lecture method that was commonly used. Economically speaking, the learning management system will help private school continue to deliver its services. Classes can go on the entire period without having a threat of being affected by COVID-19. The researchers aim to improve the classroom discussion of students and instructors by improving the learning management system using new features such as recorded audio or video for student assessment and SMS notification. The researchers also implemented the reinforcement Q learning algorithm for the notification to set an appropriate time to notify or alert the instructor once the student had obtained and downloaded the instructor's uploaded course material. The instructor would also receive another notification once the student has submitted the course assessment that has been taken. Once the student and instructor has successfully obtained the login details, the administrator would also receive a notification. Once the student and instructor had successfully obtained the login details, the administrator would also receive a notification. The platform of the study for development learning management was Code Igniter. This Code Igniter was designed to deliver a stable, safe, and optimized framework for instructors, administrators, and students to build customized learning environments. It is also PHP's best open source development platform. The Rapid Application Development Framework was used for the development of the study. Furthermore, the technology acceptance model was utilized by the instructors and students to evaluate the learning platform's acceptance level and effectiveness. Also, the standard ISO 9126 quality model was used to determine the quality of the system being developed by an expert. The figures showed the researchers' conceptual paradigm using the input-process-output model. The input include a review of existing practices by all participants, stakeholder consultation, and survey. Data collection, data interpretation, and analysis were involved in the process. The researchers was also using rapid application development to create and develop the proposed study. The output included the system which was developed. The learning management system has three entities directly connected to the system: the administrator, instructor, and students. The admin module comprised of several data-centered activities and processes, and it was intended for the system administrators. These are the activities the administrator can create, access, view. System user was adding. The ability to add system users is allocated in this module. The school year was adding. The ability to add school year and semester is allocated in this module, and more. The instructor module was composed of class-based activities, and these are the activities the instructor can create, access, view. Notification, the ability to access or view the announcement from the administrator. The instructor received information if the student successfully took up the course assessment and downloaded the course materials uploaded by the instructor. The message is adding. The ability to add or create a message for all the student or selected students in the course is allocated in this module, and more. The student module was composed of these activities: notification, refers to the ability to access or view announcement from the instructor. Message is the ability to add or create and access or view an announcement from the instructor, and co-student is allocated in this module, and more. The Active Directory module was used to allow single sign-on users accessible through the portal of the system. The Simple Mail Transfer Protocol section required admission to the system's SMTP architecture and enabling system-generated response to the system administrator or instructor activities. The Store Card module was the facility that assessed instructor and students' identification information in the central database. This research was therefore evaluated based on TAM, which included the perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, and attitude towards.
Sorry, it's too long, so I need to skip some slides.
Using. This study of a learning management system. This study used the technology acceptance model to evaluate the learning management system's acceptability level and effectiveness, which serves as a virtual classroom extension for students and instructors. Finally, ISO 9126 was used to assess the quality characteristics of the system, which includes the students, adding/updating courses by the system administration, setting the course calendar, setting/downloading and retrieving examinations, quizzes, assignments, and resources, online checking and scoring by the instructors and students, evaluate the software quality level of the system as perceived by the experts in turn, and implement it much quicker. The proposed system was developed using rapid application development to develop the system faster. Also, RAD is comprised of 4 defined the main process or functionalities of the proposed done in phase 1. A system prototype involves the user interface, such as the design of form. The researchers use CodeIgniter, a PA to be performed by the St. Peter's College instructors and the students of the College of Computer Studies. System Quality Characteristics Questionnaire for Expert Assessment is a standard and pilot question learning management system. In this case, the following were considered as the participants of the study. The current 100 students enrolled in St. Peter's College Bachelor of Science at the 3 user levels: the system administrator, instructors, and student. The system was grouped based on each user's role. Each user has to enter their username and password on the login page as shown in this figure. Message, web settings, index page, and user's right and website activity log. Once the administrator has signed in, a list of administrative items will display on the left side of the screen. A user account was created in 2 ways. First, the student or the instructor would create their own account on the login page on the previous slide for account. It could be an instructor or a student account, or for the administrator account itself, after they have already created their account details. When the user forgets his or her password, then the system has a function to reset the password of the user. In details, second, whether the instructor or the student has created a new registration. Also, for verification and activation purposes, the administrator will be notified of the new application or registration. The system. The school year form contains the school year and semester list. Click the Add New School Year button at the top of the form on the right side to add new data. After clicking the Add New School Year button, the Add New School Year form will be displayed. In this form, the administrator will provide only one parameter, which is the class name. The administrator will then need to set the subject in the current class by clicking the Action button and display a list of menu, Edit, Add Subject, and View Subject. This is the subject form. The administrator will need the subject code, subject description, and instructor. administrator via the instructor or the student or vice versa from different users. This is the message page interface in the system wherein the administrator can create a message by group to revise the system's front page display. It contains the following: notice board, the rights of the students, and the instructor's system user right. This figure contains all the system logs such as the list of activities created by the administrator, instructor, and students. This figure contains the list of classes, subjects, and student enrolled assigned to the instructor. The two submenus in this menu: created course assessment and management course assessment. Furthermore, and time to publish. In the Manage Course Assessment menu, the instructor can see the list of course assessments created in this page. More in this slide, it shows the screenshots to record audio and video. Once the instructor has finished recording the audio or video for the student's assessment, it will be found in downloads on your computers. In whiteboard or video conferencing, as shown in the slide, the instructor must first choose which class the instructor will assign. Await the details of this process via SMS, email, and internal. Can hold conversation in the form of posting messages. It is distinct from chat rooms in that master topic or blog. The message and an account notify the student that in that notification for them, students can see the list and take the course instructor set. This screenshot shows the actual by their understanding of its ease of usage and usefulness. Also, instructors and students' attitude towards the use of the LMS increase for each perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness. Thus, both perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness have a positive impact on the attitudes of the instructors and students about using the learning management system. Also, most of the experts who have been in the field for more than 9 years accept the learning management system software quality standard. Therefore, it can be concluded that for the benefit of all its constituents, the learning management system is strongly recommended for implementation of St. Peter's College. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for listening to this video presentation. Yeah, it was quite long, and we are coming to the end of this session. So this session is finished. It's the session 1. And now this is the time for Q&A session. If you have any question regarding this session or from any participant, you can ask now, and then we will proceed to the next session. Any question? Okay, so if no questions so far for this session, we can move to the next session. Professor Mike, we are coming to the second session, Humanities, Literature, Culture, and Arts.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shakir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shakir. Now, congratulations to all. We successfully finished the first session of our conference today. Now it's time to move to the next session, which is technical session 2, Humanities, okay, Literature, Culture, and Arts. So I will call the paper ID and the title. If you are there, please share your screen and proceed. So Dr. Shakir, should we start the session 2?
Yeah, so yes, please.
Okay, the first paper ID is 210. incorporating reading strategies for EFL. Arif
Ye-
Ahmed, if you're available, please proceed.
Paper ID 210. Arif Ahmed, are you available? 210. 210. Station 2. 210. 210 is absent. Please proceed to the next one.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shakir. Now we have to move to the next presenter, whose paper ID is 213. Local wisdom as
Okay.
culture development and creative sectors. If you're available, please
Okay.
proceed.
Thank you
This
very
is
much.
2, 3. Yeah,
I will
2,
share my screen.
3. Yeah, please.
Can you see my screen and my voice is clear?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you
See.
so much. So I will present for this today. It's about local wisdom as cultural development in creative sector of Northeastern Thailand community under the writer of me, Desi Dwi Putri, and to another of a researcher from Faculty of Architecture, Khon Kaen University, Thailand. So right now, I'm under a master degree student at Khon Kaen University, conducting research with scope of multicultural collaboration in the design program with the under supervisors of Dr. Ratikon and Dr. Chanasa that conduct in Northeastern Thailand in scope of culture and design subject. So it's the importance of rural communities developing methods to enhance their creative ability through local wisdom with the aim of generating ideas for branding Thailand tourism and customizing products for development. So not only in general of tourism, but how is the product can develop in the tourism sector, such as in cultural wisdom. This involves of reaching the importance of focuses on tracking traditional practice that local wisdom help to ensure the cultural preservation and sustainability. It's based on like two comparisons between like we can see the trends of Eastern tourism. Eastern is the northeastern Thailand that generally known as the biggest part in the Thailand, and we can see the different trends affected by the COVID-19. So the in the process of preserving these traditions, only main areas interest research station, for example, in the cultural preservation, only like the city like Ayutthaya, Bangkok, and everything like well known in Thailand. But we can so like in Northeastern Thailand have challenging to try and develop detailed products that have some impact in the past when trying to society needs that can apply right now in tourism sector, like based on the product development. And the second one is like the principle of Northeastern tourism development relate to eco-culture preservation to have present competitive to anticipate trends, change, and adjust growing potential across Thailand areas, not only in central and the north, but the northeastern must take part in the cultural development. And the last one is the demographic change in the working age of proportion in Thailand finds way for raising productivity, invest the skill of Thailand's sustainability development, and longevity defines a regional economic impact, especially in the ethnic group, the youngest people. So the objectives of the research is the first is to aims to explore the potential for improving local communities in northeastern Thailand, making them attractive place to live, work, and invest. Like how is the area in northeastern Thailand is the biggest part to important part of potential. And the second one is to emphasize the benefit of heritage and traditions behind with the examination of the influence of rural communities on cultural heritage and their impact on the creative sector. Like what kind area, what kind important culture that impact to the creative sector in the northeastern Thailand. So the methodology of the research is include the surveys, data collection on activities, ways of life across the Mekong line, like the northeastern part. it have the similar connection with the Mekong River, like how the ways of life, the evolving of tradition, how the trade with Eastern communities along the Mekong River, and the study seeks to enhance the capacity of traditional practice to grow alongside creative cultural methods for branding traditional communities. Not only the people of Pai, but how it's connected between the cultural impact in Mekong River development that provides the cultural creative sector into the local wisdom product development. And the factors not only to the culture and the community, but also involve religious ceremonies that create demand for art and various occasions, like what kind of occasion that need the product to have a new developed product in this modern era that used by the past and can use still in right now. And the second one is to examine the influence of tradition on creativity, innovation, and intangible context, exploring the connections between people, place, and ideas relation to design thinking within the rural community's cultural approach. Like how could one area develop another areas in the cultural sector? For example, in two big area of Thailand, central Thailand in Siam, cultural development like IIARP, they have like the impact of the heritage of castle, like the past, the Buddhism castle, and the in Chiang Mai, for example, in the north, they have the cultural from Lana Kingdom that have a big influence for cultural tourism. But how is the northeastern Thailand? It can provide the same cultural interest without boundaries. For example, they have so many ethnic groups in northeast Thailand, but how to make the innovation and creativity and what kind of basically they must explore and develop for this one. For the clarifying important point, each country using an available component analysis as a suitable site, what site is available for tourism access and availability for new concepts, as well as local wisdom affordability as the element of urban and rural development. So not only focus on the product, but like how is the environment of the product of the people stay here, of the people is develop their community in urban, in rural, and how is to make the new product quantity. For instance, the tourism sector will develop in southern and central Thailand due to accessibility and interest attraction related to nature. Meanwhile, in northeastern Thailand, it's really hard to accessible for the tourism. They only have like a limited of airport to come inside of their one. Even they have the airport in some of a specific city, but they not can access all of the area in northeastern Thailand. And even using the bus or transportation, they still have to need to develop how could they access the local wisdom area that have an ethnic group that will develop for this one. And interest attraction relate to nature, culture, and human creativity and should apply as equal factor in North region as the basic development in maintaining the new idea of the tourism approach and offer optional industrial in each province using the people, place, and idea to achieve mass communication to tourist reference and common to emerge the category. So right now in the northeast Thailand, even the tourism come, they don't know well where is the area that can they develop for the cultural interest. Even they can manage that one, they must have used some of agent or travel to assess that one. But if they want to go there, it's directly by themselves, like they want to explore like in Chiang Mai or in Bangkok or Ayutthaya, it's really hard for them to assess and limitation of language barrier of the community and the people outside. And for the example of the research, after have the site and the visit and combination of the area, this is three of northeastern Thailand area that must have a good component of presentation of Nong Khai, Mukdahan, and Mahasarakam. They have three different of Eastern representative in culture, culture development, and the urban city development. In Nong Khai, for example, right now Thailand branding the Nong Khai as one of tourism sector as new city development. They have to branding like how to connect it between Mekong River influence different between Laos and Thailand. So Nong Khai represents the Eastern representative of Thailand very well. And the accessible of Nong Khai is really accessible for all of the tourism because it's connected to another foreign country as well. So the people as the tourism when coming to Nong Khai, they can have two options now, like to explore more city rather than another eastern area. So they can go to the border of Laos and come into Thailand via Nong Khai. And the second one is like Mukdahan. Mukdahan is well known as the cultural representative of Puthai community that they right now the tourism sector in Thailand represent the Mukdahan as Puthai community as new culture interest, like how the people in Puthai community, because Puthai community is so different ethnic group within Isan. So like what is special in Puthai community is can develop the tourism sector. So like the people can interest in how the people of Puthai in Mukdahan is like, how is the culture, how is like ways of life of the people of Puthai community. And the last one is the new develop of community is Mahasarakam. Right now the community is trying to develop the ideas like the puppets weaving, like they want to make it as the Mukdahan of Puthai community, well-known branding, but with the different of interest in components. And the conclusions of the one is like how to maintain all aspects in principal tourism design, the importance of city management, give parameter of market dimension and efficiency resources in the main city to face the accessibility to another rural area of provincial, like each other of Eastern community must be connected to have the well managed of transportation and connection of the reference of tourism sector and how they branding the product of their management sector. And the support facilitations of attractiveness to prevent the tourism product from a comprehensive point of assemble as the standard of maintenance to acquainted tourism area in the regional region. So the Northwest Thailand province in the application of tourism parameters needs the combination of six principles of sustainable tourism to manage the people, place, and ideas related to the problem-based aspect to identify, clarify, and analyze the great or well-maintained provincial tourism sector in developing communities to leave the old legacy of tourism sector into new positioning of creative thinking in industrialism. Okay, thank you. It's all from me. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your contribution and your presentation. It was very good and knowledgeable. Now we have to move to the next presenter. His paper ID is his paper ID is 216.
Yeah.
Yeah, 216. The title is Expressive Writing in a Study University English. So if you are available, please proceed.
It's a video presenter. Please.
Okay,
move.
thank you, Dr. Shakir. So now we can move to the next one, whose paper ID is 217. The COVID-19 pandemic transition. If you are available, please proceed.
Hi, I'm one of the authors of that paper, and I am the one presenting it to all of you since my colleague has her prior commitment as of this speaking.
Okay.
By the way, am I audible? Hello po. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. So on behalf of my esteemed colleague who spearheaded this pursuit, Ms. Cheryl C. Mislang, LPT MSc, Chairperson of the Natural Science Department at Jose Rizal University. I am Mr. Richard A. Cribelio, LPT MA, Physical Science Junior 3 teacher, Junior Teacher 3 from the University of Santo Tomas. A pleasant afternoon to all of you, my fellow researchers and IIARP administrative officials. I am the one of the presenters from the Philippines, and I am going to discuss the COVID-19 pandemic transition to in-person laboratory teaching and its implication on the students' achievement in physics. So this study is actually rooted in the idea of educational setup here in the Philippines, as it recently transitioned from full online modality to in-person laboratory teaching, and the possible implications of such to the achievements of the learners, particularly in physics. The inevitability of the things going around us involving the COVID-19 pandemic underscored or emphasized the current status of the Philippine educational landscape. And it is in the virtue, right? It is in the virtue of everyone that a vision of truthful learning should always be the top priority of every educator by heart. That, that has become even more recited or pronounced. So as teachers ourselves, the quality of educators, as well as the learnings acquired by the students throughout the previous system, have been really put to the test. Henceforth, being 21st century educators, we want to gauge if all areas of achievements have been covered, experienced, and achieved aside from the usual formative and summative assessment results. So, we patterned our study from Akani 2015, where we measured the students' achievements in physics by the following criteria: scientific attitude, scientific skills development, scientific method for learning science, and scientific abilities with laboratory experiences. Each area contained meaningful empathic statements that completely cross-examined and correlated their perspectives, experiences, and achievements, as well as suggestions for improvements as they completed their return to face-to-face laboratory teaching and learning encounters. To further elaborate on the abstract of the study, let me have a few minutes to go through the different parts of it. So in conjunction, the study was conducted at Jose Rizal University through the purposive sampling method. It was delimited to 40 respondents who were obtained from NSC C202202P, or Physics for Psychology class, second term of the school year 2022-2023. We utilized the usual IPO, or input process output conceptual framework, to surely navigate the methodology of the study to its desired intents. With that, the researchers came up with 4 sub-specific problems to identify the implications on the students' achievements in physics in the full online modality transition to in-person laboratory teaching. Number 1, what is the profile of the respondents in terms of gender? Number 2, what is the students' achievement in physics in terms of 2.1, scientific attitude, 2.2, scientific skills development, 2.3, scientific method for learning science, and 2.4, scientific abilities with laboratory experiences. Number 3, is there a significant relationship between scientific attitude and scientific skills development? Number 4, is there a significant relationship between the scientific method for learning science and scientific abilities with laboratory experiences? Furthermore, to justify problems 3 and 4, 2 hypotheses have been formulated to determine the relationship between the variables involved. Null hypothesis 1, there is no significant relationship between scientific attitude and skills development. Null hypothesis number 2, there is no significant relationship between the scientific method for learning science and scientific abilities with laboratory experiences. As we employed a descriptive correlational type of research, we arrived at the following major results to answer the questions raised in the statement of the problem. All the computations of the collected quantitative data were facilitated in IBM SPSS version 28. Moreover, descriptive statistics were harnessed to answer specific questions 1 and 2, and inferential statistics were harnessed to answer specific questions 3 and 4. As you can see here, table 1 shows the answer for problem number 1, and there are 17 or 67.5% female respondents and 13 or 32.5% male respondents in the study. This only implies that the majority of the respondents were female. Next, table 2 answers 2.1 of problem number 2. It showed the descriptive statistics of the mean and standard deviation, or SD, of the respondents toward scientific attitude variable. as projected in the results here, statement 1 obtained the highest mean value of 3.70, and statement 4 obtained the lowest mean value of 2.25. This can be gleaned that the values are clustered around the mean of 3.3300 with the low standard deviation of 0.42135. This only shows that students' achievement in terms of scientific attitude is achieved. Moving forward to table 3, which answers 2.2 of problem number 2 under the specific skills development. Statement 1 obtained the highest mean value of 3.83, and statement 2 obtained the lowest mean value of 1.85. This can be inferred that the values are clustered around the mean of 3.2500 with the low standard deviation of 0.42907. Therefore, this only shows that the student's achievement in terms of scientific skills development is also achieved. Okay, table 4, which answers 2.3 of problem number 2 is under or is for the scientific method for learning science. Statement 3 obtained the highest mean value of 3.70, and statement 2 obtained the lowest mean value of 2.07. This can be inferred that the values are clustered around the mean of 3.0050 with the low standard deviation of 0.48882. This only shows that the student's achievement in terms of scientific method for learning science is also achieved. And for the last variable, table 5 answers 2.4 of problem number 2, the scientific abilities variable with laboratory experiences. So statement 5 obtained the highest mean value of 3.72, and statement 2 obtained the lowest mean value of 2.47. Therefore, this can be gleaned that the values are clustered around the mean of 3.3300 with the low standard deviation of 0.46531. This only shows that students' achievement in terms of scientific abilities with laboratory experiences is achieved. Overall, or to summarize them all the areas of the achievement have been said to be attained and accomplished during the last semester. Moving forward, the Pearson correlation was used to determine the relationship between scientific attitude and scientific skills development variables and the scientific method for learning science and scientific abilities with laboratory experiences variables, respectively. So the correlation or pairing of items between scientific attitude and scientific skills development variables are 1 and 6, 2 and 7, 3 and 8, 4 and 9, and 5 and 10. On the other hand, the pairing of items between the scientific method of learning science and scientific abilities with laboratory experiences variables are 11 and 16, 12 and 17, 13 and 18, 14 and 19, and 15 and 20. Results showed here in table 6 that there is a significant relationship between scientific attitude and scientific skills development reflective of the Pearson R value of 0.644 with the corresponding probability value of 0.000, which is with the level of significance 0.005. Hence, the null hypothesis was rejected. Furthermore, it only gives us the idea that the strength of the relationship is considered strongly positive between scientific attitude and scientific skills development. Okay, and for the last table,
sorry for interruption. You have 2 more minutes, so please.
2 more minutes. Okay, so okay. In the last table here, it shows the correlation results between scientific method for learning science and matching scientific abilities with laboratory experiences. Okay, the Pearson R value obtained here is 0.547 with the corresponding probability value of 0.000, which is in line with the level of significance 0.005. Okay, the interpretation is significant. Therefore, the second null hypothesis is rejected. Okay, for the last part of this presentation, the following were the reflected conclusions transparent to the quantitative results of the study. Number one, all the areas of the students' achievements, such as scientific attitude, scientific skills development, scientific method for learning science, and scientific abilities with laboratory experiences were achieved as confirmed by the overall adjectival rating agree. Number two, there is a significant relationship between scientific attitude and scientific skills development, which only means that such areas help elevate and upskill students' overall learning, performance, and understanding of the course when a laboratory class is injected therein. And number three, there is a significant relationship between the scientific method for learning science and matching abilities with laboratory experiences which correspond to a positive interplay between the variables involved in learning physics through in-person laboratory teaching. You know, in terms of the appendices that support the findings of the study, the following can be identified through the DOI or digital object identifier listed here. For the Appendix A physics survey form, the raw data obtained after the question, I mean the survey has been done. Okay, and then for Appendix B, the statistical results evaluated through the SPSS software, and then Appendix C, the consent form that was initially sent to the student prior to the conduct of the survey, and then Appendix D is about the questionnaire form that was given to them through the Google form. And this has been Mr. Richard A. Cribello, LPTMA, and this concludes my presentation on behalf of my other colleague. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and the next paper. Please, Professor Mike, are you available?
Yes, thank you very much to the presenters. Now it's time to move to the next presentation, which paper ID A216, right? No, sorry, 217. The COVID-19 pandemic.
219.
219.
Yeah.
Okay, 219. For maintaining students' academic performance. 219.
Hello.
The paper ID is 219. If you're available, please proceed. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Sorry, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to share my presentation first. Okay.
Okay.
So
Please.
wait for a moment. Can you give me a moment, please? All right, so I will be the presenter 219. Let me present my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so shall I start now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. I am Sir Lawrence A. Villamin on behalf of my co-author, Ms. Lang. We will be presenting our paper entitled Augmenting Students' Academic Performance and Developing Higher Order Thinking Skills, or HOTS, through the use of systems thinking ST in science, technology, and society. Just a background about the authors. So I am a graduate of a Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education major in Biological Science from Occidental Mindoro State College and obtained my master's degree in Ateneo de Manila University in 2001, having a degree of Master of Science in Science Education. As of the moment, I am a full-time assistant professor 3 at National University, handling science programs and teaching science subjects, including BS2, BS Nursing, BS Psychology, BS Dentistry, and Medical Technology. I was able to publish my paper focusing on the use of mobile learning technology in ICCE, which is a Scopus Index conference. And finally, my research focus are educational technology, including mobile learning, e-learning, and AI, and also instructional materials development and pedagogical trends in STEAM education. All right, so this is my co-author, Ma'am Cheryl Miss Lang. She is a full-time college instructor at the Ceresol University and also the chairperson of our department, Natural Science Department. Her research focus are new pedagogical trends in science and STEAM education. All right, so just to give you an overview, this is our abstract, okay? But I'll discuss this in thorough as we go through to our presentation. So here are the contents of my presentation. First, I'll be giving you the rationale of the study, and then that also includes the related literature that supports this study. Next would be the statement of the problems, and then we have the conceptual framework, followed by the methods that we use, and then the results discussion and implication, and finally, the conclusion and recommendation. To start with, let us have the rationale. Okay, science, technology, and society is actually a mandatory course being given to tertiary education student. It's a type of general education course, and part of it is a climate change and environmental awareness, as per the CMO number 20 series of 2013. Environmental sustainability as observed and as research is being taught, okay, from a lens of a linear thinking or a one problem, one solution approach. This was in accordance to the study of De La Cruz 2019. However, okay, interdisciplinary was being suggested to be taught in a sense that it could be that all the variables must be accounted for. According to Kosa et al. And Primatsu and Atun, interdisciplinary subject must be taught in a lens of a systems thinking or holistic thinking approach. Holistic thinking approach or systems thinking approach is a way of taking all the variables in the process and connecting them so as to come up with a good conclusion and so as to come up with a bigger picture of the problem or the scenario. One of the things that we use for us to do systems thinking is what you call as the systems mapping. Systems mapping is where you get all the variables and then you connect all the variables together and then you create this called the causal loop diagram or CLD. Okay. Wait for a moment. Can I pause for a while? Wait for a moment. Thinking and what is its connection to higher order thinking skills. All right, higher order thinking skills is defined by Thomas and Thorne in 2005 as a surpassing of simple recall. It's just not a mere repetition of the information given by the teacher, but it is more than that. According to Guru 2009, it is considered to be an advanced cognitive processes in which students are able to analyze, synthesize, and make an able judgment. Employing such things in the mind, Young et said that it is more of extensively tackling the challenges and the problems that we encounter, especially in our society nowadays. It also involves comprehending, interpreting objects and events and phenomena holistically through personal language construction, according to Nuguro and Surya Dharma 2018. Now, what is the relationship of higher order thinking skills and systems thinking? Well, according to Wick et al. 2011, it was discovered that the students taught through systems thinking approach exhibited the so-called enhanced critical thinking and increased proficiency in solving intricate interdisciplinary problems, somewhat far from just teaching the so-called one linear problem approach. According to Busta and Russo to 2020, they determined that employing a systems thinking approach to teach interdisciplinary subject resulted in a more positive student attitudes towards interdisciplinary learning. As I mentioned, systems thinking is one of the things that we do for us to be able to learn interdisciplinary learning. And science, technology, and society is amalgamation of all those different courses, science, technology, and society, which is a type of integrative interdisciplinary course. Now, this method among students fostered increased interest, enthusiasm, and engagement, potentially contributing to greater success in interdisciplinary subject. Now, as observed, why we wanted to conduct this study or why we conducted this study, as observed up to this stage, there is no single study that focuses on the utilization of such approach, especially in teaching science, technology, and society, and other interdisciplinary subjects, okay, in higher education institution. Thus, we aim to utilize the said approach and pioneer the use of systems thinking to teach not only environmental sustainability concept, but also interdisciplinary subject as a whole in the long run. Now, let me proceed now to the statements of the problem. So number one, of course, what is the level of academic performance and higher order thinking skills of the students prior to the intervention based on the pre and post test results? And finally, is there any significant difference between the pre and post test results of the students, okay, that would show changes in their academic performance and then higher order thinking skills. Now, as for conceptual framework, it is imbued here in our figure that due to the use of systems thinking, it is also imperative for us to use a causal loop diagram that would help us visualize the idea of our research. First, as you can see, when we start here in the first box, wherein you can see the use of systems thinking in studying STS topic on environmental education, it would lead to the so-called use of systems thinking tool. This tool is what we call a CLB, just to give you a background. The CLB consists of feedback loops instead of just linear arrow, wherein the arrowhead consists of the effect and then the arrow tail is pointing towards the cause of the phenomena. There is a sign near the head of the arrow, either positive or negative. Positive means reinforcing and negative means balancing. You can see there are smaller loops inside a circle. R1 means reinforcing 1, R2 means reinforcing 2, and R3 means reinforcing 3. In other means, you can also use B, which means balancing. But as for this case, this is merely focusing on reinforcing loops. Okay, going back with the first one, the one with the blue colored font, okay, the use of systems thinking will lead to the use of systems mapping, particularly the use of CLD as a tool. With this, then it would help the students to recognize, it will increase their ability to recognize causality patterns, which is important in environmental education, and also to determine the trends and feedback relationship, thereby increase their level of attainment in higher order thinking skills, and in the long run would also help them more to recognize those causality patterns that will help them achieve the so-called great academic performance in the long run. That's why, as you can see here, there is a two parallel line denoting that it will happen in the long run. And the increase in academic performance will then also reinforce their higher order thinking skills. And thereby, if all these things happen, then definitely it will lead to more use of the said approach in the educative process. Now, going to the methodology, we just simply use the so-called descriptive comparative. Actually, there is a first part of the study wherein it involves the development, validation, and pilot testing of the instructional materials. However, the focus of the study is only on the implementation and data gathering and then the analysis of pre and post-test results. As you can see here, here is the example of the developed material that is being employed on Canvas. As you can see, there are series of modules, and then there is what we call as the exploratory period, wherein the students are to analyze these so-called problems that are happening in the environment. One of which is the Boracay closure, which is very relevant here in the Philippines. We also have the Manila Bay rehabilitation and others. Okay, and also after that, there will be this so-called guided discussion, wherein the students, after reading or analyzing the problem, will then use systems thinking to create CLB so as to determine, those problems and issues, and so as to provide an intervention
Sorry
based
for
on.
interruption. You have 3 more minutes, so please be conclusive.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll make this faster. Okay, so this is an example of one of the CLBs that students created, so artifact 1, and then we also have here the artifact 2. Now, going to the results, as you can see here, this is the table 1, the analysis and students' response and pre and post test. As you can see, at the pre-test, they have this so-called below expectation, meaning to say they haven't achieved this so-called minimum requirements for them to be able to exhibit knowledge and mastery in environmental education, particularly in STS. But after the post-test, after using the said tool, then they got this so-called above expectation as gleaned on the table. Now, as a result, here are the summary. Now, there's a significant gain in the mean results of the respondents from 24.647 going to 45.804. That's a huge difference. And then when we using t-test, okay, we then differentiate, okay, the pre and post test result, giving us a value of p-value of 5.013 exponent negative 19, which is less than the set alpha level of 0.05. This suggests that there is a significant difference between the pre and post test scores of the respondents before the utilization of the system thinking approach in teaching environmental sustainability and STS. Now, as for the HATS, this is one of the artifacts and one of the answers that the students provided to us. As you can see, there are 5 questions, but here we only have 2 questions. For the first question, the students don't have any response at all. But as for when we integrate the said approach, then they provided us this so-called analysis of the situation by creating a CLB. And also, as you can see, there is a robust response after the use of systems thinking approach. Now, as for the results, based on the difference between the mean results of the pre and post test as seen in the previous slide, the respondents' HOT has improved significantly since 92.5% of the questions focusing on higher order thinking skills. Thereby, the respondents displayed conceptual understanding by interpreting the variables and relationship in the given situational items in the teacher-made test. They were also asked to identify the best policies in the given environmental issues in the examination, which has enabled them to achieve the highest point of Bloom's taxonomy, which is evaluating and creating project proposals. Now, what is the implication of all those things that I've mentioned? Then these are the implications of our study. Number one, finding of the study could serve as a basis for higher educational institution in crafting and training proposals and seminars for teachers to effectively use systems thinking and STS in the instruction. Second, it would be a basis for CHED's mandate on the official integration of systems thinking approach in teaching environmental education in STS in the national level. And as for conclusion, of course, there is an improvement of the HOTS and academic performance of the students, and there is a significant effects of the approach being tested in the study that can support by the given quantitative and qualitative analyses. The ST approach could benefit a lot the educators in providing the students an in-depth knowledge and analysis of various environmental issues and sustainability concepts, thereby honing their critical thinking that can be applied in real-life situation and improving their academic performance. Now, these are the limitations of the study, and we would like to recommend the following. Number one is to conduct a study applying two-tailed test analysis using a two-group setup. Number two, conduct the same study using the so-called Vensim app. Number three, to test the significant difference and relationship between the students' academic performance and the perception of the said approach. And of course, provide longer exposure for them to be able to digest it more. And finally, to conduct a study utilizing the similar approach in other integrative and interdisciplinary general education sources. These are the references. Thank you so much for listening. If you do have a question, kindly email me here. I have flashed already my email, or you can also search me on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for listening.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation. It was very knowledgeable. Okay, so now we have to move to the next presenter. So the next presenter is, if we just
220.
220 tourism, fostering attraction and accessibility. If you're available, please proceed.
220. Are you available? Satya Negaralubis. Are you available? 220. I think no. Wait, let me check. 220. It's absent. 728. 220. Is absent. Let me report it. 220. 220. Okay, so this was the last one, but she's absent from the live presentation. So this is the last one of this session. And this session is just finished, and now we are coming toward the Q&A session for this session 2. If you have any question regarding the session, regarding any presentation, you can ask now, or if you have any suggestions, you can ask now. And if, yeah, so first, yes, Richard, you have raised hand. Please.
Good afternoon again, Dr. Shakir. It's it's on the side of the technical presentation. I just would like to ask if you will give us certificates for the presentation afterwards?
Sure. Certificate.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll wait for those certificates. Thank you po. Thank you, Dr. Shakir.
Oh, sure. The certificates are sure. Yeah. Okay, another raised hand, John Lawrence.
Hello, Dr. Shakir. Good afternoon.
Yes.
I would just like to also ask, in conjunction with what Sir Trubelo has asked a while back, since we conducted this presentation online, virtually instead, may I know what are the perks of those who have already registered initially, okay, for physical presentation? Because I believe the the registration fee is lower if you conduct it, if you are to present online instead of presenting physical, right? And so since you have set it to online, what are the things that we could get, okay, from it, Papa? I would just like to clarify lang. I would just like
So
to clarify.
you originally registered for physical
Yes,
presentation, right?
Yes,
yes.
same with Mr. Villamin, Dr. Shakir. Yes, we registered for physical presentation.
Okay. So you will be refunded with the rest of the fee. Don't worry about that, because there were a few presenters for the physical presentation. So that's why we just converted the whole session into online presentation, an online session. So you don't worry about the rest of the fee. We will refund it to you. Don't worry about that. Okay.
And also, may I know, Dr. Shakir, what are the processes that we need to take for us to be able to have the full paper published in Scopus?
And Scopus.
Yeah.
So
I believe you have mentioned that a while back. I would just like to have a clarity.
What I
Yes.
mentioned in my presentation in the beginning of the session, that we highly recommend you to submit your paper in the Scopus Q1, which is F1000 Research, and you can send us your full paper. We will review it. We will also need some associated data, such as the questionnaire, the SPSS files, field notes, etc. They need to be published in an online repository. So all these material you need to send to our email. Later, I'm sharing all the detail. And of course, it is a good paper, a good manuscript. For sure, we will help to publish it in the Scopus Q1 journal.
If in case if worst comes to worst, if it's not being accepted in Scopus Q1, would there be any other options, viable options for us as well, since we already paid for
So
the fee that you have mentioned?
you only need a Scopus Q1, not any Google Scholar journal. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, don't worry. We will have the way to find a venue, a Scopus journal to publish your paper. Don't worry about that. Okay. Don't worry about that. We will find a journal for your paper, your manuscript, to publish it in Scopus Q1 or Scopus at least Q2, 3. Okay, there's another question. Would you like to ask anything else? John Lawrence?
Dr. Shakir, can you check my chat personally to you?
Yeah, I'm coming toward your question. John Lawrence, is it clear now? John Lawrence?
Yes, sir. So may I just clarify? First, we have to submit the full paper to you, and then we also have to pay the fees needed, and then what would be our assurance that this will be published in Q1 or either Q2 Scopus, sir?
Yeah, sure. So you need to send your paper to our email. Later, I'm sharing the detail. And we will need other things such as your associated data. And if there is any discrepancy, we will inform you what we need more. Okay. So you need to send your paper and the associated data to your email.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And can I get the certificate that mentioned me as on-site presentation? You can not refund my fee. Just mention me as the on-site report regarding person as they to mention me presented in Kuala. Now I'm in my living regarding. I actually didn't get your point. On site, of course. No, we will not mention anything such thing like online or offline presentation in the certificate.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. We will not mention such things in the certificate. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much all for joining today's two session, technical session 1 and session 2. And I hope that all the participants of today's conference enjoyed a lot this virtual session. It was really great experience with all of you, and thank you so much once again. And as I observed all the presenters, sorry, can you mute your phone? So much noise in the background. Yes, so as per I observed, all the presenters have very good research ideas and had put their efforts for the best. And all the papers, presentations, data was supported by good methods, theoretical framework, and achievable objectives. But still, I saw that most of the papers didn't mention one thing which is needed by most of the journalists, that what is new in your paper. So you need to focus on this aspect. This is one of the most important aspect in your paper. You need to highlight it for the journals, for the editors, for the reviewers, that they can easily consider your manuscript for publication in their journal. So this thing need to be focused more in most of the papers. Yeah, and some of the participants were unfortunately unable to join us live, but they sent their video PPTs, and we uploaded their video PPTs to our YouTube channel. So here I'm sharing our YouTube channel link. Let me share it here. All the presentations. And please visit this channel. I'm sharing the chat box. And subscribe this channel that you can be informed about our upcoming conferences and events through this YouTube channel. Yes, so I shared it here in the chat box. And those who didn't send their video PPTs or were unable to present live on Zoom, they can send their PPTs to this email address I'm sharing in the chat box. This is our email. Please note it for the future queries, questions regarding your presentations, certificates, or anything else. So please note this email address. And I'm informing all of you that the video presentations, the papers, the live presentations, all are evaluated by our reviewers. And the results for the awards in the form of certificates for the winners will be sent to your email along with the proceedings in other certificates. Yes, I'm again sharing our Facebook page, which you can visit and like and follow for the upcoming updates regarding our conferences and other events. Here I shared our Facebook page. And I'm also sharing our WhatsApp number. So please note this WhatsApp number, and you can ask the questions related to publications or other things, certificates, through this WhatsApp number. We will also add you to our WhatsApp group for the upcoming updates regarding the conferences, other events. One thing more, I wanna request all of you to open your cameras that we can take a group photo with your smiley faces, if possible for you. Please open your cameras. I'm taking one group photo. Thank you. Few more. Yes, thanks. Few more. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm taking a screenshot. Be ready. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you have any questions regarding publication, regarding journal, regarding conference, regarding upcoming events, you can ask me now, or you can ask through our email or WhatsApp number. I shared it in the chat box. Any question? Otherwise, we will proceed to the end of this session. I hope, yeah. So we will be given within a day. Yeah, we will send the certificates after this, after finishing this session. You will get it through your email. Don't worry about that. Okay. Any question? Okay, so if no more questions, I'm inviting our session chair to have the finishing remarks about these two sessions, and then we will wind it up.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Shakir, for inviting me for the end comments. Now I should say thank you to all of you. Thanks for your time and participation in IIARP conference. And we are looking forward to see you again with your more research contribution and very unique theories. Thank you very much, and see you again. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Mike, and all of you for participating in these sessions. And I hope to see you again in our upcoming events, including conferences and webinars, workshops, etc. Please follow our pages that you may be informed about the upcoming updates. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.